Yeah. So, okay, I have a couple more questions for that, but let's actually take a step back. What did you do for nutrition?
Yes.
So like first 6 weeks and the next 6 weeks, like were you just eating like whatever, or were you
pretty much? Yeah. Like that's, I mean, even with a newborn, you went through this a few times. I mean, two times, right? With
I didn't have any babies.
You didn't, but you saw your wife go through it. Yeah. So, I'm still breastfeeding. So it's very important to just basically eat whatever you can, because you are feeding two now, yourself and baby. So you pretty much can't really be on a diet or some sort of nutrition plan. You kind of just have to eat to kind of fuel up, basically. Yeah. So pretty much just had, whatever I wanted. Yeah. I didn't really, I guess, kind of start playing around a little bit with nutrition. I think when Weston was probably 6 months.
Was there anything you avoided, or?
Let's see. I pretty much try to do a palm size of protein per meal. That's one thing that I did keep in mind.
Try to make sure you get
enough protein. Yeah. But pretty much, no, I didn't really limit myself to like, oh, you can't have, carbs or bread or whatever. Yeah. I didn't really much. But one thing I did try to keep up as much as I could, palm size of protein per meal. Yeah. And have like at least 3 meals a day. Yeah. Yeah. This is really easy for you not to eat when you're feeding a baby, a newborn. Yeah. And thankfully I had my sister and my mom especially my mom, she would cook for me. Yeah. So that was super helpful to have someone, have fresh, warm meals. Yeah. But yes, that's one thing I did always try to keep up with, palm size of protein per meal.
So 6 months in, you said you made some changes. What'd you do?
I did. So I started tracking again. Yeah.
Just tracking what you were eating.
Yeah, just tracking. Just for me to see or have an idea of how much food I was having, and then kind of see what was missing. Yeah. And not for like a specific reason, just more so just to make sure that I'm doing okay with having enough food. Yeah. And I did that for, I want to say 2 months, just tracking food, just logging it. That's it. And, just making sure I have like protein, right? Meal.
Okay. So then 2 months, and then what else? So now you're 8 months in. Yes. What did you change then?
So then I started kind of tracking more macros. So protein, carbs, and fats.
So, but you were tracking that stuff before.
No, I was just logging my food.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. I wasn't like hitting specific goals.
Okay, then you're going to try to hit the goals.
Now I'm hitting specific goals daily.
Yeah. And why did you how did you pick those goals?
So, we did a team competition. Yeah. Yeah. So I think this was, when did Rebecca tell us about this team comp? The first one.
Oh, I don't know. Like maybe a month or two before then?
Yeah. So when she told me that, I was like, you know what? I need to make sure I feel okay for this thing. Didn't take it super seriously, but I also didn't want to just feel awful either. Yeah. Which is why I kind of, started playing with my macros again. Yeah.
So that's like, I love that, because it was an external thing that made you say, let me dial this in a little bit more. Yeah. But also, like, none of us took it that seriously. No. Right? We weren't like, oh, I got to win this thing or whatever. Yeah. It was more just like, let's do the best that we can. Yes. Right? And I think we did do the best we could. We did.
I mean, we got third place. I did not know. I had no expectation for us to podium.
But I mean, the point here was like having some external sort of motivator, like even if it doesn't matter that much, it at least gets you dialing things in a little bit more.
Yeah. Just to, focus like one thing, right? And then from there, I kind of was just like, it's actually helping, because I saw a huge improvement in my workouts and my lifts. Yeah. So I kind of just got more motivated to keep it going, right? Yeah. Because I was just going to do it up to just the competition. Yeah. From there, I wouldn't, whatever. But no, like I kind of felt like my old self a little bit.
Yeah. It seems like after that competition, you kind of dialed it up a little bit more. Yeah. What did you do after that?
So you mean in terms of nutrition? Yeah. So I got more, so prior to that competition, I would only track for 5 days. So Monday through Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, I would take it off. Yeah. So now I'm doing 7 days. Yeah. And then I'm also taking, a scan, and it's not more. And then I had I was going back and forth with the scan just because there's certain,
like a body fat scan.
Yeah. Just because of that body fat percentage, I'm not really liking where I'm at. Yeah. Which is why I didn't want to take it. But it does help me to see in terms of my muscle mass, right?
Yeah.
Because right now, I think the other thing that I've been battling with is my weight. Ever since I had Weston, it's like up and down. But then again, you know, I keep telling myself like, it's okay. Like, don't worry about the weight.
Yeah.
But so I've been doing like a once a month scan. I've been doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm tracking 7 days. And then I'm also tracking my hydration too as well.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that I'm kind of, you know, added to.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is not even related to being pregnant, but just your approach has always been awareness and consistency.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. And it's just like, okay, I'm going to track and I'm going to track my food and I'm going to scan once a month and I'm going to like do the workouts. And I'm not going to make anything mean anything. I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
And then, okay, if I want this to improve, I'm going to be consistent in this way and that way. And I just think like, just from a mental health perspective, when you're doing this kind of thing, like that's the only thing you can focus on.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you're just like, okay, I need to weigh 130 pounds or whatever, you're just going to be so disappointed.
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. And then that's because I would do the scale, right? I would. At first, it's funny. At first, I was like, you know what? I don't want to know my body fat percentage because I know that it's super high. Yeah. Let me just weigh myself. That was worse.
Yeah.
Way worse. Because I would just get disappointed every single time I would, you know, step on the scale. Yeah. So I was like, all right, let me switch it around. And that was super helpful to switch it around because it's the weight. The weight is like not everything. It's absolutely nothing sometimes. Yeah. So that's why I switched it around.